That would help. Brilliant. So circling through 2 and 1. So starting from the head there, we're going to do our desk reset snack, which is in my book, The Feel Good Fix, a great one for whenever you're rounding your back, that kyphosis of the spine. We're going to bring the shoulders up towards our ears, back an inch or 2, and then down the spine. So hopefully you feel taller. It's called a desk snack because it's like the shape of a desk. I want you to think anytime you're sitting at your desk or at the sofa, just doing this little reset. So do it once more with me. Bring the shoulders up, back an inch or 2, and then down the spine. So do you feel taller there? Try and maintain that posture throughout this session. We're going to do simple single circles, circling back. You might see a little difference on one side to the other. Try and swipe the arm right past your ear. So you're trying to encourage full range of movement in this big ball and socket joint of your shoulders. A really lovely one just to wake up the body anytime you're sitting or standing. You could just add some circles in. Let's change direction. So coming forwards. You could do this seated. I'm just doing it standing. Breathing as you go. Lovely. Hopefully getting a little bit warmer. Beautiful work. And then we're going to place our hands behind our heads and we're going to engage our stomach muscles. Keep your hips forward, seated or standing. We're just going to twist round, a little spinal twist. Try and breathe out as you twist. Just notice your body. This is all your workout. You do what feels good for you. If you're slightly tight, just breathe into it. This is a nice little twist for our spine that can get really tight when we're in those periods of sitting. So trying to break up the day with little movements, exercise snacks like this will really help. And then opening out the elbows, resetting here. We're going to just lean across, so sideways, laterally, down. Can you feel that lovely little twist here? Just a different movement, so it's different planes of movement for the body. It's as if I'm between 2 panes of glass and I'm just sliding down. So I've got to keep those elbows wide. Chest is nice and open. It's like a side little bend. One more that way. And then maybe placing your hands on your shoulders. We're just going to do some lovely big circles, breathing through. Another lovely one, but this time opening out the heart chakra. So if you tie this into your breath, you should feel a little bit of love, the oxytocin, love hormone being released, changing directions. We do coordinated movements to keep our brains fit because physical activity is one of the best things to work the brain, reduce risks of things like dementia and Alzheimer's, but the changes in the brain start in midlife. So encourage younger people to do these exercises as well. We're going to do a few cross-body reaches just to really warm up and start getting that heart rate slightly up. So I've got one leg coming out to the side, opposite arm reaching. I'll show you the seated option. It's still really nice. If you can stand, feel free to get up, reaching across. Do you feel the heart rate coming up a little bit? So deep breaths, a little bit of aerobic activity now to get the heart, the lungs, the respiratory system nice and strong. That's it. We'll go for 3 and 2 and 1. And then while we're here, we're going to do our little hip work. You could either balance, or if you can't balance, I will show you a seated option. Just make sure you have got some support, either a chair or a wall if you're going to do these standing. And we're going to start with some hip circles. So all we're going to do is try and balance on one leg. Even if you think you can balance, always have that support because we don't want anyone falling over. And all we're going to do is maybe 5 circles in one direction. Try and keep the body really still so that you're isolating that hip joint. And that's a really important one. I'm just going to show you seated, which again is lovely because the hips get tight When you're seated, we want to keep them lovely and mobile, and then change directions when you've done your 5. If you are balancing, one of the tricks is to really hold your core muscles, your stomach muscles in. That's your center of balance. Maybe focus on a point. You don't have to balance. Obviously, use support if you need it. And the leg that's taking all your weight, you're building your strength because that's taking all your body weight. You could probably feel that if you are standing. Changing direction, so either seated. Let's go to the other leg, 5 circles one way. They don't have to be big, but just try and keep everything still. You can probably feel some little clicks. I just felt some little clicks in my hips there, and the hips carry your stress as well. So hips can get very tight. I have a lovely hip snack in my book, The Feel Good Fix, with videos. All you have to do is take a photo of the QR code on the page and it will give you a lovely video of the exercise. So I want everyone to be doing things correctly. We're going to grab a band, a belt, or even a pair of old tights. You don't need to have fancy equipment, but sometimes these bands can come in useful and they're available online very cheaply. They've all got a bit of stretch, but a belt or ideally something with a bit of resistance would be great. So we could start working our muscles. And we're going to start with Lavina's famous shoulder floss. So if you know it, you're going to try and hold on to the band, bring the arms up and over, either straight or if it's difficult, please bend the arms. Try and practice this shoulder floss every day. I say in the morning and night, like we floss our teeth. We could just add this to an existing daily habit. Just like balance work, I often say balance on one leg when you're brushing your teeth. That's also in my book with different targets of, but depending on your age range, how long you can balance for. But this one is a great one because, again, it's helping to reverse this rounding of the spine. We're opening out. If you've done about nearly 10 of these, you might be feeling the lactic acid in your muscles. Just that little burning sensation. You can loosen up the grip, or you could keep going and challenge yourself by holding it maybe a little bit tighter if you want. I can see a few of you on Zoom. If you haven't got a band, that's absolutely fine. Purnima Auntie, you're doing really well. You could maybe even hold your band a little bit tighter. My mum is on Zoom. I want mum to practice this in front of the mirror because sometimes you see very commonly slightly imbalances. So maybe your band is a little bit short, mum, and we need to get you a longer band just so it's a little bit easier to go all the way around. We've done quite a few today. Well done to Runa Auntie, who had a shoulder fracture, and I can see beautiful shoulder flossing today. I'm so proud of you. That's incredible progress from where you were. Well done on keeping up your physio and all your exercises, definitely healing. We're then going to do a lat pull down. So we're going to hold our band, or if you don't have a band, you could just use some tin cans for this one, or body weight like Sarajanti, no band, that's fine. She's actually in her garden today. I can see that's very brave in the UK. Elbow coming down round the side and then squeezing back up. So one arm stays quite straight by your head. I'm just going to come down low to show you on YouTube. And I'm squeezing that elbow, pulling the band or using a weight. We're going to do the same side for about 5. I will show you from the back that it's these muscles, my latimus dorsi in my back, that I'm really targeting. You can hold your squeeze. So if you've got that resistance band, you can really hold and focus. Maybe hold at the bottom, breathe out as you squeeze, and then inhale as you release. So breathing out. I'm moving to the other side, seated or standing, just holding the other arm up, squeezing round. We're trying to focus on these back muscles, and strength training, resistance training like this is so important for so many reasons. It's detailed in my book. But for our longevity, we really need to focus on our muscle mass to help us stay as independent as possible. It's really important for our blood sugar management. It's even an antidepressant. We should be feeling like we're releasing some endorphins now. Give yourself a little shake. And what we're going to try today is either with a band or with some tin cans or some light weights. We're going to go seated and maybe place your band. It depends on the length of your band, under 1 foot. And we will try and do some bicep curls. But I want you to try and keep your wrists quite straight. So try not to bend them. Keep them nice and straight and solid. If your band is too short, you can just pick up some tin cans, like I said, or some light dumbbells, and we're just going to do some seated bicep curls. Yep. So I'm just showing you with the band. If it works, you could use the band. Otherwise, you can do them with some weights. We'll try and do about 5 or 10 on each leg if you've got the band under 1. Otherwise, maybe 20 bicep curls using light weights, so please adjust them. And if you can't do 20, even 1 counts. That's the beauty of exercise snacking, the science behind it, that every single minute, every little bit of movement counts and it's of benefit. One of the studies that I use in the book that I quoted amongst 40 pages of studies is that 1 minute of exercise over the age of 60 can help improve your health. I think that's so encouraging, and especially if you can do this through the day. So break up the long periods of sitting with different snacks, any exercises you like from today. Set yourself some homework to do through the day. So regularly, maybe every hour, ideally every half an hour, we would get up and move. So did you feel those? We're going to try something new. Now, I always show the leg extension. I'm going to show you. You can do this while I'm explaining the exercise, just as a simple leg raise, but you're focusing on your thigh muscles, your quadriceps. So we're really squeezing and contracting them. You can hold the leg out, maybe for 10, 20 seconds, and see how that feels. If you have a band, we're going to try and loop it round a chair leg. If this works, you don't have to do this. We're going to just try something new. So depending on your band, I'm going to tie a little knot at the end of it, because then I have a resistance band to do my leg raises. And then I can try and maybe use the band as a bit of a weight. Now you're going to have to adjust the knot. I did my knot right at the top, but I need to make it a little bit tighter. So if you have a chair that's safe, if you're on a sofa, don't worry, just do your normal leg extensions. I just thought we'd try something new. So I'm tying a little knot in the band, and do not worry if you don't have the band. Please do even just some simple leg extensions without. Then I've got my ankle through, and I'll show you from the side. I'm now using that resistance band. Can you see? This does add resistance. You might not even be able to straighten for that long. So keep the back straight, and I'm lifting and squeezing. If you don't want to do this exercise, please just start marching on the spot even. That's a great one to do. I'm just going to show you this variation. It actually works really well. I'm just going to do a few on the other side to show you as well. So I've now got this band looped around my chair leg. I know some of you are trying this. So we will speak on Zoom at the end, whether you like this one or tried it. If you're on YouTube, please drop me a comment. Let me know. Can you see there? I've got resistance as I'm doing that extension. So it's adding a little layer of extra resistance there. Release that down. We're going to go straight in. So you could carry on doing leg extensions as level 1, but we're going to go straight into our sit and stands or our squats. So if you're able to stand, you can start already if you've done my workouts before. If second level, if you're not able to stand without assistance and you need the chair, I want your feet to be just over shoulder width. Your knees always come out. They don't come in towards each other. You can hold the chair, lift up a couple of inches or two and come down. So you've got that support. That's level 2. Some of you I know are standing already without any assistance. So level 3, if you're able to, we're just going to do some body weight, sit and stands, maybe with your hands on opposite shoulders. Make sure that you can really squeeze the muscles in your glutes, your thighs, your stomach muscles are tight, back is straight, coming down slowly. To make it harder, you could just quickly touch and come straight back up. Squeeze up, breathe out. You've done quite a few now. Some of you started early. So let's go for 3. Knees are going out, never coming in. I can actually see my toes. Have a little check as you're coming up and down. So the weight is in your heels. 2 and last 1. Brilliant work. Let's march it out, seated or standing, or just have a little break. So this is where we start getting our steps in. You could go fast or slow. I can see one of my regulars, Vinu Uncle and Champu Auntie, he's still holding his weights, as is Andrew, even on the marching. So these are people that have been using my workouts for years now, and they are progressing themselves. It's so inspiring to see that they're holding their weights even during their stepping here. So either rest or we're going to go for 10 more seconds. You could go fast or slow. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax for a second. Well done. So that was our king of lower body exercises, the squats, which we will come back to. But we're going to add on our upper body exercise, my favorite, which is the wall press up. Or if you're more advanced, you may be going down towards your table or kitchen counter. I will show you both versions. So if you are standing, if you're able to stand, you're going to come towards a wall. And you're going to keep a lovely straight line. Hands are at shoulder height, nice and wide. So please start with your press-ups when you're ready. We're going to come towards the wall as a straight body. So I'm not hinging at my hips. I'm keeping everything straight from my chin down to my toes. My stomach muscles are engaged. I bend the arms as I press away. I breathe out. To make it more challenging, I can go further away. It's pretty difficult. And also to make it challenging, we don't do floor press-ups in this workout because it's quite advanced and I've had up to the age of 100 join in, even from care homes. So bless her, I remember her doing the seated version, hands on your thighs. You can push down, bend the elbows and press away because you're still focusing on these upper body muscles. When you've done 8, 10, 12, do what feels good for you. Make sure you can really feel those last few repetitions and then press away, have a little break, or like Andrew just did, maybe just add in some arm circles, loosen things up as you finished, or even roll out your wrists. I will wait for everyone on Zoom to have finished. Super press-ups, even Taruna Auntie today against the wall. I'm very proud of you. And Vinu Uncle is inspiring us on Zoom. He's adding in some boxing, some steps, some crossbody. He's even grabbing his weights, I see now. Well done to Manju Auntie, Saroj Auntie, Anuradha Chansing, who I believe is 90 or 91, I believe. His sister is usually on to tell me Urmila Ben Taylor, Manju, Purnima Auntie, and Ambujam Auntie. Super work. Have a little break when you can. So we're going to do those 2 exercises again because King and Queen, we're working on our strength, building our muscle mass, our bone density. For the squats or for the leg extensions, whichever one you're able to do, the sit and stands, you could add on a weight. You could even add on a rucksack and get that heavier over time. So think about the weights you're using. I don't expect you all to have dumbbells, but try and progress over time. If you've been on the same weight for a while, think about maybe adding in a little rucksack on your back. And we're going to try and go for about 10 if you can. If you can't increase the weight, I want you to think about going slower. So changing the tempo. So breathing out, maybe adding a weight. Lovely work, everyone. Super work on YouTube, on Zoom. My community are looking so strong. The ones I can see. Well done. Are you breathing? Is each repetition perfect? Are you feeling it? Think about the mind to muscle connection. So really, let's go for 3 more. Haven't got mummy today to keep count. So hopefully I'm counting, but it is your workout. You do as many repetitions as feels good for you. I'm going to go for 1 more. Super work. And relax. Like, why do we do those? They are obviously mimicking being able to stand independently by yourself. And I've got people in their 80s, 100% I can see online today. I think one in their 90s. If you can't stand, even just making sure you're using the muscles, so that we're trying to increase lean muscle mass at whatever age, is going to be really beneficial. So those leg extensions are great. And squats are also very good for your brain because they are promoting oxygen in the blood flow to the brain and down. We're working against and with gravity. Lots of science outlined in my book. So when you're ready, we're going to go for those press-ups again. If I had a lower surface, a chair is a little bit narrow for me, I think, to do press-ups because it's quite hard. I like having the hands nice and wide, but if you have your kitchen top, you can mimic this and do some press-ups every time you're cooking, every time the kettle is boiling. That's what I advise, because then you are not forgetting. And you remember, I'm going to do press-ups every time I make a cup of tea or hot water or when the vegetables are boiling. Keep going with those press-ups, standing or seated, maybe 10, keeping the body nice and straight. Breathe out. So really emphasize your breath. That's going to help you as you push away from the wall. Lovely. 2. You do your own timing. I've done my 10, but whenever you're ready, there's no rush. You can join us. You can again circle out the arms, circle out the wrists. See what feels good for you. Hopefully your wrist strength has got stronger from doing these press-ups. We're building strength in all the muscles. It's a compound move. So see how you get on with those. We're now going to go into a little flow of a warrior flow. So like a little yoga flow. And I'll try and show you seated as well. So what I've got is 1 foot turned outwards and 1 foot pointing forwards. The heel of the foot that's turned outwards is almost lined up with the arch. So that natural arch in your foot of the foot that's pointing forwards. And all you're going to do if you've done a bit of yoga is bring your arms out to the side. This is body weight, so no extra weight. We're going to look over the foot that's turned outwards. And we're going to try and imagine we're like a warrior on top of a mountain. Now, if you are standing, all I'm going to do there, and if you're able to stand, please stand. I know my mum does her yoga every day, so mum, are you going to stand up for me? You can lunge into that front leg, and you can carefully bring the arms up. It takes attention, it takes focus. We're going to try and hold for as long as possible. Try and level out your arms so the back arm is nice and straight as well. Hopefully the hold is where we're building strength, but be powerful, strong warriors. Don't worry if you need to reset and rejoin. It can be tough, I'm going to try and go for 5 more breaths, seated or standing. I can feel those arms working. 3 breaths. Join if you need to. Relax your arms and rejoin when you're ready. 2, lovely. On top of that mountain like a strong warrior. And 1. And then just straighten out the front leg. And we're going to try and bring the back arm down and the other arm up towards the sky. You can look up towards your arm. So we're just reversing that warrior. Lovely. So if I was seated, I'm just literally leaning over. So you've got a lovely side stretch. You could do it seated or standing. And then we're going to do it the reverse again. We're going to bring the front arm down and then the other arm up. So it's a slightly different one. You can have your legs straight or you can bend that front leg and look at that arm up in the air. Lovely work. Deep breaths. So almost a little yoga snack in the middle today, just to mix things up and release. Woo, did you feel that? Give me a thumbs up. I definitely felt that. And obviously, you could probably feel that on the hips, the sides of the body. The arm strength was difficult. Well done. I can see thumbs up on Zoom. So shall we try the other side? So that way we have now got to try and even out both sides. The other foot turns outwards. The other foot turns forwards. The heel of the foot that's turning outwards is in line with the arch of the one that's pointing forwards. And we're going to look across the mountain on the other direction. So either standing, and that way I'm leaning in. I'm just going to widen my leg stance. So widen it so that your knee is protected. So it's behind the toe of the front foot. Does that make sense? So it's not crossing that toe. I can see the toe. That protects your knees. Deep breaths, looking over. Hold those arms out nice and strong for as long as possible. This is body weight move, but just try and hold it. Focus on your strength. I know it's tough. If you need to stop and start, please do. 3 deep breaths. Inhale, exhale. 2. Breathing in, breathing out. I can really feel this. 1. So if I was seated, I'm just going to show you. I'd literally be still here. And release. We're going to try and reverse that warrior. So I'm going to straighten out the legs and bring the back arm down. Front arm all the way up, maybe looking up towards it, getting a lovely stretch. If I was seated, I'm just getting a lovely side stretch. Let's breathe in here. Let's hold it if we can. Hold your core, keep your neck neutral to your spine. 2 deep breaths and 1. Wonderful. And then reversing again, front arm comes down this time. Bending the leg or straight, whatever feels good for you. And then the other arm comes all the way up if you can, seated or standing. You can try and look up to that arm. This is such good rotation work. Really quite difficult to get that arm nice and straight. So it's a straight line if you can. We're going for 2 more deep breaths. Do whatever your body allows. Stop and start if you need to. Breathe in, breathe out. Last breath in. And on the exhale, whoo, straighten up. Super work. That was quite interesting. Doing that, give everything a little shake after our squats and press-ups. Good little challenge there. There's a yoga snack in my book with videos. It's one of the end of day stretches. So give those flows. There's some more advanced poses from yoga in that you can follow the videos quite easily if you like that one. It's a little taster. So we're going to go into a little bit of cardio just to mix things up now. If you can, I would get some tin cans or some light weights. We're going to start with a bit of boxing. So a bit of a cardio snack now. We're mixing. Every workout is different. I spend time writing out the plan before each session So over the last 4.5 years or so, nothing is the same, which is why I want you to use YouTube. And that's what keeps your body nice and challenged. It's always the feel-good fitness prescription, covering mobility, balance, cardio, strength, and stretch. But there's always different exercises. Can we pick up the pace? If you're seated, go for the last 5 seconds, a little bit faster. Get rid of all your stresses, your tension, your worries. If you're standing, 2. Last little 1 and relax. How do you feel? We did a little bit of a HIIT workout. So it's higher intensity, but it's low impact exercises in this session. So we're not really going for crazy fast moves that are going to really load the joints. You can just step out, but we're not jumping in this workout. So it's a great way. Do you feel your heart rate has come up? We're going to drop the weights. So let it come down, have a little breather. So it's like interval training for your lungs and heart. You let it recover. So you're back to maybe 3 or 4 out of 10, where 0 is you're doing nothing, 10 is Lavina, I am exhausted. Are you on about 3 or 4 yet? So your recovery, I can see all of you on Zoom that have been regulars, look totally ready to go again. So that's your recovery, your stamina, your fitness has improved because you recover quicker, which is a really, really positive sign. So well done. We're going to do some star jumps. So either seated or standing. I want you to give yourselves a big clap as you come up and over. Amazing work. Keep doing those star jumps. I'm just going to check in on a few of you there. Let's see how everyone is getting on Zoom and on YouTube as well. Keep going, keep going. Oh, that's brilliant. You're all looking so fabulous. Keep going, that's it. Let's get a few star jumps, even seated in, big claps. You can have one leg coming out or both legs at the same time. We're not jumping, but we're still getting our heart rate nice and high. You could go faster. Let's give ourselves a clap. Let's go for 5. Good. 4. Beautiful stars. 3. And 2. Are we okay? And 1. Give yourselves a clap. How are you out of that 10, that rate of perceived exertion? While you're recovering, I can see some of you are recovering now, so you probably pushed it a little bit more. Out of 10, my mum is a 7. Oh, she's thrown some lovely balloons up. I don't know how she managed to do that on Zoom. A 6, and Vinny Uncle's a 10, Tarun Auntie's a 7. Andrew, yes, I think I saw yours. Amazing work. Champu Auntie 7. So this is your workout. If you want to play this session back in 3 days' time and maybe move it slightly higher, I don't think Vinny Uncle can go any higher, but you can do that. You can just progress a little bit more. We're going to finish with a little bit of core work. So we're just going to work the sides of our body again first. We're focusing on that. You could do this seated or standing. One hand behind your head, elbow comes out to open out the chest, and then we're almost sliding that hand down and up. So we're working the love handles, the sides of our body, as if you're between 2 panes of glass and you're reaching down, squeezing up. As you do a few, I want you to think, can you feel it on the side? So even if you're seated at the edge of your chair, now to progress this, if any of you, because some of you are able, you could hold a weight. I could grab this handle of this laundry bottle and use this as a weight to just add a little bit more. You could add your tin cans. Let's aim for about 10 on each side, going slowly. I'm just doing one side at a time. Can you feel this? Inhale, exhale as you stand up straight. Good. Keep going. I'm going to do about 2 more on this side. I'll show you seated, leaning over, working the sides, those oblique muscles, and relax. Good. Maybe adding a weight to the other side. Again, encourage that elbow out so that your chest is nice and open, nice straight back. Stomach muscles are always drawn in towards your spine. That's going to help protect your back muscles as well. And something you can do during the day, just work your core. You can even engage your pelvic floor muscles in an exercise like this where we're going nice and slow and controlled. So squeezing, good. Let's go for 4 more roughly, seated or standing, reaching over, feeling that side squeeze up. 2, beautiful work. You're all doing so, so well. I'm proud of you. And relax. Well done. Last little core exercise, which we often rush, is the high knee. Lifting the knee up towards your belly button. We're going to go nice and slow today, seated or standing, but I want you to feel, maybe place your hands at your chest level. Try and aim for it. Obviously, standing is a bit of balance, so please be careful. But I want you to think about your stomach muscles lifting that leg. So these lower abdominals are hard to reach area. Stay nice and tight. You're contracting. So even seated, I want you to just give yourself a little high five. If you're able to stand, so maybe mum, you could try standing for me. I'm putting my mum on the spot. Just see how you feel. Or seated. It is balance work, but if you're able to, just try. Can you work your stomach muscles? Andrew is holding some light weights, which is a great progression. As long as on this one you are focusing on your core, which I can see him doing really well. We're going for 5, really nice and slow. 4, think about this area, yep. 3, lifting that leg using your stomach almost. 2, it's quite a different feeling. And 1, good work. So we're not going for high intensity, we're going for focus and strength there. Did you feel the difference? Yep, hopefully on those. You can give me a little nod if you did. And then final exercise, we're going to twist from our core. So we're going this way, diagonally. This is almost like your core snack today at the end of the session. We're going to either seat, so obviously be careful if you're standing. We're going to twist to touch the opposite knee. But each time you do it, I want you to open out your elbows in the middle so that you're not just doing it with your elbows here, because that's a little bit easier. You're going to twist and then reset as you come up. Elbows wide, twist. Can you feel the twist again in your stomach? Are you squeezing your belly button in towards your spine? I'm doing it seated and I can really feel it. It's almost this diagonal crisscross of the core muscles that we want to work. Breathe out as you twist. That's going to help to engage and tighten the muscles. Breathe in as you open. So going to the opposite knee, elbow to the opposite knee is quite hard standing. You've got to really balance. 2 and 1. Ah, super, super work. Just give everything a little shake off. I think we feel like a little shake. Give everything a little shake and a little smile. We're going to go into our final stretch, which is really important, so don't run away. First of all, we're going to bring our hands into our back and bring the elbows back. So we're opening out the chest. Again, trying to reverse this kyphosis. Hands are in the middle of my back or maybe even behind your chair. Opening out. Breathe. Maybe lift your chin slightly. Can you feel lovely opening? We're going to hold here and breathe for 3 deep breaths. Just bring the heart rate down. Inhale, exhale. Taking things a little bit slower, but just opening out, enjoying this release. 2. And then last breath in, breathe out, smile. You've done so, so well. Have a seat, everyone. We're going to stretch out our legs in a few different different ways. So we could either bring one knee in towards your chest, sitting nice and tall with a straight back. You could circle out your ankle. If that feels good, you could do both sides, or you could place one foot on the opposite knee, depending on your body, your flexibility. This is quite tough to just ease out a little bit of pressure to open out the hip. You should feel it on your inner thigh, your groin, your outer thigh, your glutes as well, your bottom muscles. If you flex the foot that's resting, so the toes are coming towards you, and to deepen it, in case you want to go a bit deeper, straight body coming in towards, so chest towards your calf almost. But even just this pushing out and holding, let's hold here for 2 more deep breaths. Inhale, exhale. Ideally, you would hold your stretches for 15 to 30 seconds at least on each side. There's lots of stretch snacks in my new book, The Feel Good Fix, with videos, so please check those out. Stretching you could just do on its own, which I often do at the end of the day. So like a little bit of self-care. Other side might feel different. This side feels a little bit tighter for me. I don't know about for you. So again, if this doesn't feel comfortable, just hug the knee in and circle out the ankle, or just hug it in as close as you can. Otherwise, let's hold wherever you are. Maybe bringing your chest towards your shin for a deeper stretch. Good. So one foot is up. Flex foot, holding, breathing. Lovely. Can you feel that last breath and release? We're going to this time have both feet out in front of you. Place yourself comfortably. Try and really straighten the legs first. Bring your toes towards you. Just there. Can you feel that? Just giving your legs a nice bit of stretch here. To deepen it, we're going to inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, you're going to reach forward. You do not need to touch your toes, but if you can, brilliant. Otherwise, rest your hands wherever you can on your legs. Shins, calves, relax the head, neck, and shoulders. Try and breathe in here, but keep those legs lovely and straight. So hold it, hold it, hold it. Deep breaths. Maybe on each exhale, going a little bit closer, like your chest is going closer towards your thighs. I know it's difficult, so don't worry if you're nowhere near where I am. I used to be very inflexible before I started my fitness journey in my early 30s. So I've been there, but stretching is something, if you persevere and keep consistent, it's so great at reducing risks of injuries, at just keeping our bodies nice and supple and flexible, and even for increasing our strength and muscle mass. There's a lovely study that I included in the book around the science behind that. So just roll out your shoulders, just a few circles here, just circling around, just placing the hands on your lap, and then the other way. Beautiful work. We are going to just do a neck stretch just to add on today, taking things nice and easy, hand on opposite ear, other arm can rest down or even behind your back, and just put a bit of pressure so you can feel the stretch from your ear down towards your shoulder. You could even turn your head, your gaze to one side. Can you feel that lovely neck stretch? Beautiful work. Other side, release it off. Everyone's necks and backs. If you've been sitting too long, if you've been using your phones, your computer technology, all ages are complaining about back and neck pain. So please show your loved ones some of the things that you are doing in these workouts. I want to try and spread these workouts, share them with your loved ones so I can help more and more people. And let's do our final feel good hug. Let's not forget that. Opening the arms out, really arching your back. Take a breath in. I'm sending you all a big hug as I wrap my arms around myself. Give yourselves a huge hug, really round the spine, chin to chest, tuck the tailbone under, rub your backs. Let's do the other way round so the other arm comes round the top. Inhale, big, big hugs to all of you. I wish I could come and give you all a big hug, but we're doing virtual feel-good hugs like I invented in the pandemic, but like a lovely stretch for your back. And you should feel good. And then we're going to do our seated or standing feel good finish. Take a lovely positive inhale as you lift the arms up. Exhale, bring the arms down. Release any tension, negativity. Hopefully feeling like it's all gone or a little bit better through the power of movement. Breathing in again. Exhale, one final time. One big positive inhale. This time, hands meet at the top. Capture that positivity. Bring it down to your amazing heart center. Take a little moment. Keep your hands by your chest. Thank your amazing bodies. Have a moment of gratitude. Bow down to yourselves. It's been an honor to teach you as always. And thank you so much for joining. I'm proud of whatever you managed to do today is amazing. I do come and talk to my amazing Zoom community now. So I will say goodbye to YouTube. Please leave me a comment. Please share these workouts with everyone you know. I'm trying to help as many as I can. Please get a copy of my book, The Feel Good Fix, because there's lots more science, description, 80 free snacks that you can do, not just exercise, mind and lifestyle snacks that will really hopefully help you feel good and improve your health in the long run. So thank you everyone on YouTube that has watched. Do drop us a comment and I will come and speak